neighbor, we don't have neighborship, okay? Because the neighborship now is tiered down because area 1 is a stub in the switch 2, and in switch 1 it isn't a stub. Let me configure in NXOS1 router OSPF 1 area 1 stub. That's it. Now we will have neighborship between switch 1 and switch 2. Look at here. In switch 2 show IP in OSPF neighbor can show us that now we have neighborship. After some second we reach the state of full. And also if you need, you can check the show IP OSPF. Now in area 1 we have a stub area. This area is a stub area. That's it. Now if you want, you can check the routing table, show IP route OSPF. As you can see here, we don't have any LSA type 5 show IP route. Look at here. We don't have any LSA type 5. And also, for example, if you want, you can check show IP OSPF database. Here, we don't have any LSA type 5, but as you can see, we have one new LSA type 3 show IP route, and this is the default route. Show IP route can show us that automatically switch 1 sends to me one default route, because that NXOS2 need to a default route to have connectivity with all external networks. Now we can check again the connectivity between the switch 2 and 172.16.01. Okay, the IPRs of loopback 0 in NXOS3. Again, we have connectivity without learning all of the, for example, external networks. Because of that, the configuration of a stub area is so easy. In NXOS, this is exactly same as the configuration of a stub area in the iOS. Area ID stub, and if you want to check the stub area, you can use show IP OSPF. Okay, don't forget, when you are configuring one switch, for example NXOS2 for area 1, and area 1 is a stub area, and checking the routing table, you can find now all of the inter area routes. In a stub area, we don't have LSA type 5, but we have LSA type 3. Okay, in a stub area, only LSA type 5 is denied, but LSA type 3 is allowed. If you need, you can configure an area as a totally stub area or total stub area. What is the total stub or totally stub area? Totally stub or totally stubby area. Totally stubby area is an area that in that area, okay, we don't have any, for example, any LSA type 5 or LSA type 3 also. Let me to show you totally. This is the totally stubby area. How we can configure? For configuring an area to a totally stubby area on the ABR, you should use the area ID stub with a no summary keyword. No summary means please don't send summary, means LSA type 3 to this area. Area ID stub, no summary. That's it. And then if you need to and also you need to configure other routers, internal routers, with the area ID stub, the same command we configured before. Look at here. You should configure the ABR with the area ID stub, no summary, and internal routers with the area ID stub. Let me to show you. In NXOS1, we configured before area 1 stub. Now I'm configuring area 1 stub, no summary. Look at here. Let me check the result. Now in the NXOS2, I expect that I don't have a pass for the 10130 because this is the LSA type 3. Don't forget that the default route generated by the NXOS1 is a LSA type 3, and that's allowed. This is the exception, because default route can be advertised to area 1, but other LSA type 3 don't have the right to advertise to the area 1 because it's the totally stubby area. In NXOS2, again, show IP route can show us that we have default route with the LSA type 3. This is inter area root, and also we don't have 10.130. If you want to check the database, show IP OSPF database, here as you can see we don't have any LSA type 3 except the quad 0, and also we don't have any LSA type 5. This is a feature about the scalability. If you need, you can check the in NXOS1 show IP OSPF for example area 1. Look at here. In area 1, this is a for example this area is a stub area and generates a stub default root with cost 1 by default, and summarization is disabled. Means please do not send the LSA type 3 inside of this area. Means this is a totally stub area. But in the NXOS2, as you can see, show IP OSPF, in LSA type 1, we have this area is a stub area, generate a stub default root with cost 1, and we don't see a statement about the summarization because NXOS2 doesn't know about the totally stub. Only the ABR learns about the totally stub area. Very good. And also here we have one interesting note: generating a stub default root with cost 1 also in NXOS1. You know that by default the default root cost in a stub area is 1. Okay, in NXOS1. In NXOS2, let me check the routing table, show IP root. As you can see here, the default root cost is 41. Why? Because the default root cost is 1 plus the cost of the ETH to 1 is, that is 40, means we have the cost of default root as 41 in the NXOS2. If you need, you can change this cost. Maybe in some cases it's used have for the for example the traffic engineering. You can use area 1 default cost and a value area 1 default cost 10, for example. Okay, let me check. In the NXOS2, you should configure this command on the ABR because ABR should advertise the default route. In NXOS1, we can configure the area 1 default cost and then 10. Now show IP OSPF can show us that the cost of default root in the area 1 is 10, generate a stub default root with cost 10, and in NXOS2 we will have the cost of 50 because 40 plus 10 is 50. Show IP root, look at here, the cost of default root is 50. And because of that, now you learn about how we can configure the default cost in the stub area or totally stub area. Let me to configure this too. Or this is also the area ID. Okay, area ID, then default cost, and you can use the cost. Okay, this is the stub and also totally stub feature in the OSPF and also we configure this feature in NXOS. As a final for example result, we can say that the configuration of a stub area and also totally stub area in NXOS is exactly same as the configuration of these features in the iOS.